Welcome to the Fink, It Isn't Until It Is podcast. I'm Finn.
I'm Tim.
I'm Guy, in which we discuss the various moving parts in a life in music.
Welcome to the Fink, It Isn't Until It Is podcast. This is the season 4 finale, which is, so it's season 4, episode 7. And it's a very important subject. It's the culmination of everything that we've been talking about in the last couple of days, because we're in Zena, we're in Cornwall, and we're in Zena Sound Studio, where we can reveal that we have been recording
Album number 9.
album number 9.
I'd love to give it it hasn't got a title yet.
The title, yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of this, because we're in that kind of happy period where we don't know what the album title is.
Well, what we normally do is we name it after a track or a lyric that that really touches us and resonates with us from the record. But everything's so fresh. It's like we don't know yet. So.
Yeah, we also kind of wanted to maybe not do that this time, because we've never done it. As you said, we've always gone with, even our live album is called a lyric, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we thought, what would it be like if we actually thought of something?
Thought of untitled.
Yeah.
It's really good, yeah. Leaves it open.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know what the title is yet, but what we do know is that's our 9th studio album. Still hungry, still up for it.
Yeah.
And as it's almost 20 years since the first kind of studio album, it's. I mean, we're sitting here, lovely couches, roaring log fire.
Yeah.
Cornish countryside. It's really nice. But this is the end of a long process, isn't it? The album recording process. So you have the agenda for the podcast, Mr. T.
I do.
Where are we going to start?
Well, the first thing to consider is how the last record that we did influenced this one, in terms of reflecting on it, because obviously we make an album, then we go on tour, and then we think about that album while we're on tour, because we've got to play songs from it every night. And I mean, you've often said that some of the lyrics to the record suddenly make sense when you're singing them night after night.
Yeah.
And that therefore gives you a feeling of right, well, what are we going to do next? And invariably it's a reaction to the previous record.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things you wanted to do with Beauty in Your Wake was record something kind of folky.
I did want that, yeah.
And it kind of didn't really happen.
No, because we did Bloom Innocent in 2019, and then COVID, and then we toured the living daylights out of it, and then COVID happened. But COVID happened right on top of us doing this record called It Isn't Until It Is, which is what this podcast is named after.
Yes.
Which was a kind of an acoustic best of recorded in a studio in Germany, and we wrote a book, and we did a record, and we booked an absolutely enormous tour.
Yeah.
And then, of course, COVID came along and just wiped that all off the map, apart from my basement, which is full of books. So when we went in to record Beauty in Your Wake, we hadn't played together or hung out together in any meaningful way for at least 4 years.
Yeah.
And also, you know, the music business that we live in, the ecosystem that we're in, no one really knew what rules were still active, what the status was of a whole number of different things in our business. Is live music still a thing? Are we going to do the same size touring?
Yeah.
Are we going to? Is anybody out there? You know, and you know, everything. We just didn't know any of that. So, Beauty in Your Wake was quite. It was quite a liberating record, because I wrote the songs. You played the drums, you played the bass, you sent me back the demos, and I was very much of the vibe. Look, if it's us doing it, then it's Fink.
Yes.
So I'll write the songs and sing and play them. That's lovely. Tim, you work out what the drums and the extra guitar parts are. That sounds great. Guy, what's the bass going to sound like? That sounds great. As long as we do it, it's done.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do a folk album, but actually the truth was we kind of came out with a bit of a hybrid record, which straddled. We were an alternative indie band for quite a long time, with a singer-songwriter edge to it, and that's what we made. That was our natural sort of our baseline, not comfort zone, but our baseline, who we are, is what Beauty in the Wake was.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we tried to kind of just really make the songs sound great.
Yeah.
You know, but we didn't have an actual sonic aim necessarily. We had a kind of vibe aim. We talked a lot about the vibe because it was that the album cover, the
Graham Nash
Wild Tales album cover.
That's right.
We knew we wanted that to be the general vibe, but it definitely wasn't kind of a specific sonic thing, which is probably what made you think this time you want to have a specific sonic thing going on.
I think it's also the confidence that comes when we went out touring at the beginning of our touring cycle. I don't know what we started with. What did we start with on Beauty in Your Way? The shop tour.
Well, yeah, I mean a couple of festies, but then the shop tour. Yeah.
It was, I don't know, that feels like 10 years ago. It's only like a year and a bit ago.
I know, it's crazy.
I just got all this, we got so much love and vibes from people, and the Beauty in Your Wake record, even though some of the studio productions were kind of productions or whatever, we have to acoustic them to play them live. There's only 3 of us.
Yeah.
And so it kind of gave me the whole, I'd love to do a more folky record, a more acoustic record.
Yeah.
And so when we were thinking about this record, and when I was thinking about writing the songs for this record, I was definitely thinking, okay, I'm going to give myself a load of rules that I don't want to break. I don't want it to be indie or alternative in any way. And we've given ourselves loads of little rules in the studio about what we can and what we can't do.
Yeah.
So that maybe our natural leanings we're not going to dissolve into a triangular shaped indie track.
Yeah.
9 times,
Yeah.
And it's been really wonderful to actually work within a frame of, does it fit what we're trying to do?
Yeah,
and if the answer's no, then it's a real simple equation of, well, no, then.
It's not going on. No, sure. Yeah, so there were several things. There was this kind of perennial, the triangle that we talk about. Do you want to explain what the triangle is, Guy? Because I know you're quite a kind of keen observer of the triangle.
Of the triangle?
Yeah, about the yeah.
Well, it's the old classic conundrum of starting a track gently and then having it slowly build to a giant big ending, which is something we've done. A lot of bands have done. It's something we've done a lot. Like they've actually got a track that literally that's what the lyrics literally say on the tin.
Yes.
But I'm going to
small beginnings, big endings.
Yeah. So I mean, avoiding the triangle was a rule, but I'm going to actually disagree with something you said a minute ago, Mr. T, when you said that you don't think that we had a sonic goal when we did Beauty in Your Way. We did have a sonic goal. The only thing was we didn't quite succeed in it. We were aiming for the Graham Nash, the folky thing, but because we hadn't been together for 4 years, or just for whatever reasons, we came close in some areas, but we knew we'd missed the mark. I mean, we were happy with what we'd made, but we knew we hadn't done the folk record that we'd set out to do. And
I think it was a looser set of goals, though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. But sonically, we knew what it was, but we couldn't necessarily describe it out loud in words. It's impossible for us to say what we were after. But I think what you'll find with this record is that this time I think we've actually nailed it. And again, it's going to be difficult to describe what all the factors were that made that possible. But I think one of the elements is that often what bands do and what we've done is you stop the touring cycle for your previous record, then you all go your separate ways. You go home and you spend a year demoing and writing and recording, and in a little bit maybe sitting on your laurels from the tour and the success of your previous record a bit. And then you get back together, you record, and then you go back out on tour again.
Yeah.
And we've always wanted to finish touring and then go straight to the studio.
Yes.
And that is pretty much more or less what we've done. We had 8 weeks between finishing gigs, I guess, and then getting down here, or less.
This is the closest we've come to that kind of traditional jump off the tour bus into the studio, because you're all red hot. You can play, and you're not afraid of yourself, and you know what your limitations are and where you're really getting good. And after loads of gigs, one thing you are good at is playing the instrument you've been playing for 100 gigs. And it was pretty close. And I said to myself on this record, I wanted to write it quickly.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it. I don't think in this climate that we work in now, I've always thought, bands which take 6 years to write a record, that's like you're basically going to do 4 records before you quit.
Yeah.
And I think you just do it. Just don't spend years on it. I mean, if you can put a record a year out, which is impossible if you have a fan base, because the touring knocks you out for at least a year. But if you can do, we're doing a record every 2 years by the looks of things. That's as fast as we can do it.
Yeah.
And which means you finish the tour, you finish your festival season, and then I came home. Funnily enough, came here for a week to sleep and relax. And then I was in the studio for 7 weeks straight, just writing the new record. And then I got in the car and came here. So it's nice because we haven't got fat or lazy. We've still got the tour chops in us. Like when we were putting the guitar takes down on the record and the vocal takes on the record, none of us have had any real hiccups. You know, we tracked it really fast because it's essentially pretty much live. There's not much comping going on the instrumental side of things. It was just... Yeah, and the songs are so recent for me that I actually kind of remember them when I'm recording them, rather than I did that demo 9 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's been the immediacy is really, really great, and I think you can hear bands who do records where it's just taken too long. Or they've sat on it for too long, or they've mixed it. Totally. I mean,
100%.
You know, records that are just overcooked and overbaked, and all the flavour's been cooked out of it, and. You know, and the thing is, this is the thing. It's about the fast turnaround. Is, you know, it doesn't give yourself a chance to second guess yourself and get all depressed and all caught up in your own kind of spiral of, oh no, is it good? Is it not good? Am I good? Is it? Because before you've even finished that, you're already on the bus, and then before you finish going, oh, is this tour good? Am I good? You're already back in the studio writing the next one. So you know.
So do you want to talk a bit about the writing process?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've got a studio in Berlin, which is really kind of my little safe zone. Very understanding family. So within the boundaries of a young family, I get to go to the studio as much as I can and get myself in the mood, and I've got loads of sort of instrumentals lying around on my phone and in my studio from previous. You know, every time you start to think, okay, I need to write 10 songs in 8 weeks or whatever your thingy is, have I got any loaves of bread or the starters already made, and I can just put them in the oven. And I had a couple of those to get me going.
Yeah.
And then I had a couple of I wrote a song on tour with Claire Days, which was really nice. And when I was on holiday in Spain, I got into a studio and wrote a riff on holiday, which I also had. So I was kind of gathering these riffs. And then when you get into lyric mode, that which I consider definitely the hardest part of songwriting, it wasn't a question of what do I want to say or what am I feeling, because it's obviously going to be what am I feeling. But it was more a question of I'm just going to allow myself to say whatever I feel. So I think the lyrical content on this record has shifted a little bit. It's a bit more open. It's a bit more free. It's less about me and more about it's okay if I want to sing about the ocean and flowers and, you know what I mean? About stuff that I would have said, no, that's a no. No songs about meadows. But, you know, on this one, when I put there's one line in one of the songs where I mentioned a load of flowers, it's relevant to the song, and I would never have allowed myself to do that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's too folky. Nah, it's too this, it's too that. But this one, I was like, just whatever feels good. And
including going back in time.
Including going way back in time.
I've never really seen you do that, I don't think. Like write a song about your youth.
It's like the opening lines of Looking Too Closely are a bit like that, because, you know, as a songwriter, you mine your relationships for microcosmic moments of relationships, and there's only so many times you can say to your current partner, yeah, this is about an ex, not about you. After being married for sort of 15 years, it's like, well, how many exes have you've released 90 tracks, so how many exes have you got? So this is a song about somebody else, where that lyric comes from, you know. But yes, I'm going way back because I'm mining for new subject matter, you know.
Yeah.
I'm less interested in, oh, what did it feel like when you split up from your girlfriend that time when you were 26? I've already written that song like 4 times. It's more like going back to moments where it felt, where what I was feeling in that moment is relevant to how I feel kind of now.
Yeah,
and there's a kind of massive, beautiful connection between the 18-year-old me and the 52-year-old me, and it happens to be this song. It's really quite quite a cosmic rainbow of songwriting.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, and so the writing process is just that. You have lyrics and ideas and vibes floating around here. You have like melodies and songs and riffs floating around there, and you kind of speed date them.
Right.
You kind of match make them up.
Yeah.
And if you go to the studio and you get a riff that you think, oh, that'll make a good chorus, that's a great day. You don't have to leave that studio and have a complete song to go home going, woohoo, I had a good day today.
Yeah.
And so it's little by little, and some days it just comes out.
Yeah.
Like the track Burning Questions that we did on this record, which was a demo that we did for the last record that never made it. And on this record, I went in at it again, but with a lovely fresh perspective. I knew what was wrong with it and clipped it all out, but I was still beating myself up about it. And then right before you leave the studio, which is always when the good stuff happens, I was just jamming, hit a few chords, oh my God, and then, you know, quick WhatsApp to the wife, I'm gonna miss dinner, something's just happened, I'm on it.
Right.
And then what we recorded came from that, like, I was packing up my studio. I'll just pick up my guitar one more time and have a little run around.
It's funny
so it's very natural,
happens.
this songwriting process. But you know, after as many records as we've done, I know what a hard record feels like, because we've done a couple where you're really squeezing the sponge and nothing's coming out. And you're on the clock or you're in the studio and it's like nothing's happening. It's like being impotent in front of everyone you love and your career. It's like and so my writing process is all about let's get off the impotent analogy. my writing process is the opposite of that. It's about nurturing the space and the time for me to feel like expressing myself in song, and really freely, no judgment, not even me judging me, you know. And like applying the same things as I applied to Beauty in Your Wake. If you're in your comfort zone, you're in the wrong place. So make it really difficult to play. Sing it in a really difficult spot. Chuck a load of lyrics and melodies in there that are really hard to sing, but they're still beautiful, and you know you can do it. And that was a really beautiful part of the process.
So meanwhile, at the other end, we're starting to get the occasional demo from you. We got 2. First of all, actually 3 we got first of all. And that's always quite an interesting moment when we get the first demo. Funnily enough, the first demo that we received is definitely still one of my favourites.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was nice to sort of receive the first demo and kind of recognise some of the sort of familiar things, but also think, oh, this is kind of different. This has got a different beat to it and a different, you know, lean. So it's quite exciting.
I mean, before what we've kind of done is I've sent demos over, and you guys have then recorded in your own studios and sent back your bits and pieces, and we've kind of gone through that process before we've hit the studio.
Yes.
But on this one we didn't.
The truth is, for me, I did a lot of that, but I never got to the point where I was confident enough to send it to you.
Yeah.
Largely because of the kind of, I don't want to say the rules, but the aim, the sonic aim, which we already knew by that point.
Yeah.
So I was kind of doing a lot of things, lots of different drum beats, chiefly the guitar things I was doing weren't working. I was playing them and I was listening to them and thinking, that's just indie. And then I'd do another one, I would go, oh, that's just indie again. The drums were more successful, but I didn't get to a point where I was like, right, I'm going to do Finn a little mix, and because I sort of almost didn't want to second guess it in a sense. I just thought it would be enough to get a lot of ideas, have them all on my computer, and then arrive here, you know, with those ideas in mind.
Yeah, for sure, man, because, you know, you don't want to, like, you know, you want to arrive buoyant.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be sending me a load of demos like, oh, no, they're all a load of shit. Because actually, you know, when we get there, they'll sound great. I know what I want to do. I just want to get there. We'll do it. If we don't like it, it won't work.
Sure.
If we do like it, it will work.
Yeah, exactly.
And without the pressure of preloading this record creatively, it's like, look, these are the songs we're going to do because I've only got 8 weeks, so we're only going to have 8 songs. Yeah. So, you know, just do whatever you like, and we'll you know, we kept it so that had this folky thing in mind, so it's like, you know, let's you know, no indie, no electric guitar riffs, no kind of endings, and you know what I mean, and no kind of, there probably won't be any massive triangular drum tracks and stuff like that. And
although, totally, definitely.
You know, and so when we got here and the first track we recorded had a massive proggy drum solo in it, it was just like, okay, well, some rules are there to be broken.
Exactly. But then in that case, we kind of employed the, okay, if it isn't strictly folk, it sort of can be prog.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So we were looking at a sort of time frame, weren't we? Like,
well, just like the last record, we had Graham Nash, Wild Tales, not sonically, but just the cover of that record as a bit of a muse.
Yeah.
And on this record, we've been really lucky because some of the muses that we've put together from our record shopping trips and people that we know and people and my dad and people like that who've helped us explore this moment. We've got really into a bunch of other muses that we've been able to dive into. Like, what would they do on this problem? What drum beat would they use?
Yes.
Or like, what percussion do they have? And whether it's Pentangle or Bert Jansch or Michael Chapman, or it's just been really useful to go, oh, we want this track to have a really big beat on it.
Yeah.
So what did Michael Chapman do on Aviator or whatever track it is? Yeah. So that's been really, really nice. So that's how we've prepared, isn't it? We've just listened. To be honest, we've listened to more music than we've played.
That's true. And also, I mean, I thought it was very important to arrive here familiar with what you'd sent us. That was almost more important than anything else. Yeah. Just knowing how it all goes and just being able to play it basically on the guitar or on the drums, So, and that paid off because the first one we did, the one you're talking about with the drums, that I think was quite a sort of nice moment for me when I went in there and did the first drum take, and I knew all the little twisty turny things. Yeah, and I think everyone I felt like everyone sort of relaxed a bit after that. It was like, okay, this is going to work. So yeah. So we're here. Why are we here? And where are we? And why? Why are we here? How did we choose it?
Well, we're in Zena Sounds.
Yeah.
In northwest Cornwall.
Yeah.
Yes, it's where we did the last record, admittedly, but we loved what Sam O'Kell did on our last record, and his vibe and his energy and his general chilled out demeanor. And we needed a place where we all felt really comfortable. And last time we came here, I know we all felt very relaxed here. So it's a little corner of paradise. It's where I come from. I feel very at home down here. And it's in the UK, so it's kind of like, I speak the language. It's really nice. And, I live in Germany, so I miss just being able to chat to the woman in the co-op about, beans have gone up, haven't they? Blimey, which I can't say in German. If you ask me, how do you say that in German? I'd be like, honestly, I don't know. Right. I don't know how to say that in German. I don't know the word for beans. I don't know how to have become more expensive, or the word blimey. So it's just
they probably nice. Knowing Germans, they probably have one specific word to say the beans have become more expensive.
Probably have. It's like expensive bean-uppery. But and it's just nice, isn't it? I mean, it's just really nice.
And the people. I mean, Guy, you are very keen on the people here, aren't you? Andy, our engineer.
Andy, the engineer, is amazing. I think if Sam had said Andy was unavailable, that would have posed a problem. He's a key player. And just like Zena itself features a hilarious motley cast of the Tinners pub up the road, which is great. So if we need a break from here, because we are in like splendid isolation, there is nothing. You look out and there's the ocean over there and very little else, but luckily there is a really cute, hundreds of years old pub up the road, so we can go up there and just have a little break, have a beer and classic pub food, and you can find yourself chatting to random dog walkers and old folks travelling around Cornwall and German tourists and crazy anarchists and all sorts of meet anybody. So this place there's a real magic going on in Zena. It's not just Zena Sound Studio, which is an amazing
it's a great
itself, but there's something going on around here. You're right, it's a really great place to be.
It's true, man. When we've recorded other places, there might be a hipster bar nearby, but it's quite not monogamous. What's the word?
Impersonal.
It's all the same people. You meet all the same people.
Homogenous.
Homogenous. It's quite homogenous.
Yeah.
You just meet people like you or people younger than you.
Yeah.
Whereas,
That's true.
Whereas
it's
out
nice
here,
to
you just
people.
You can meet anyone. Like you can meet my parents in the pub; they might be there. You know,
That's nice.
It's so nice.
It's been great. I've met so many dogs in that pub. It's great. Scruffle. Like nothing relieves stress like scruffling a good dog, does it? So
And also, we've met people who've wandered into the studio thinking it's still a cafe and wanting a toasted sandwich. More people than last time.
Yeah, that's because it's slightly warmer now. Last time we were here in October, but the reason why is because this did used to be a cafe. So people aren't insane; they're wandering in based on Google telling them it is. And at one point, we implemented a rule which it never came to fruition, but we decided that the 10th person to walk up asking for a coffee and a cheese toastie, we'd actually stop recording and go make them one. But it never got there. It got to I think 6 was the most in a day.
Timmy specifically dealt with that situation, didn't you, Timmy?
Yeah, I got an Etsy person to make Sam a sign that says, "Sorry, we are not a cafe anymore," which they've hung
currently hanging on the front door.
Yeah,
it's a lovely touch.
Yeah. But no, it's really that's why we come here. Well, I mean, we come here for Sam because Sam O'Kell's got amazing ears, shelf loads of Grammys, and the guy's amazing. And the studio that he's put together is not a recording studio. It's not. There's no kind of live room or anything. It's much more homely than that.
Yeah. And it's residential.
And we all get to sleep here, which is really nice. So really nice. It's really lovely. You get very into it. You can shut out the world and you can really get into it without being in LA and on a different time zone.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the process of recording, I think broadly speaking, we followed a similar process this time to last time, because last time we didn't do any songs all live, like click sticks 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we all come in together and track a backing track. We didn't do that last time.
No,
we did that when we were slightly more of a kind of indie band. Perfect Darkness, Hard Believer, we did that.
This one I think was more governed by Finn's recent familiarity that he alluded to a moment ago, where he said, pointed out that he'd done all these songs so recently that, and they were quite recent for us. I mean, I especially am a really slow worker, so I need tunes for months if I'm going to know what I want to play on them, really. But didn't have that wasn't the way this cookie crumbled. So I think these recordings really lent themselves to Finn. The classic approach. If Finn would sit down and start to record initially a guide guitar rather, which in many instances would then turn into the actual guitar. And then a vocal, and then that's like the scaffold that we build on, isn't it, Mr. T? And then it was kind of track by track basis. Some tracks, as soon as Finn's done that, we sort of look at each other and scratch our heads and have to make a kind of group think decision on the spot as to whether it's going to be drums, percussion, bass, because what you choose first might really influence what goes on from there.
Yes.
And sometimes you might put down a really confident bass line or a really confident drum line and think that's great, and then proceed off of that, carry on putting more stuff on. We didn't go crazy. There's not a million overdubs, but a 12-string part here or a percussion part there, and then you realise, in hindsight, actually no, and back we go, and we go again. Even back to the point of back to Finn going again on the guitar or again on the vocal.
Yeah.
So
getting a framework down is important. I mean, I think there was a couple of sort of things that happened perpetually on this record. One was that you brought with you this time, Guy, you brought a fantastic 12-string guitar, which was your dad's.
I did, and it was.
And he had that since the early 60s, right? It's a Gibson.
Yeah.
Lovely 12-string guitar.
Oh, it's a beautiful piece of kit. I mean, it's an amazing instrument.
If I may, it had been rescued from the graveyard of guitars, because when I found it, quite recently after he passed away, I found it, and it was completely broken to bits. I mean, it had just imploded over the years of being neglected. So it had just been repaired by my amazing luthier. It was carry on, Mr. Yes,
he did
that came
a
to
fine
the
job.
session.
So that was actually, I mean, to be honest, I played that on practically every song. And that was the sort of the thing partly that kept me from doing anything too indie, because indie is quite difficult to do on a 12-string guitar.
It ties you into the rhythmic approach.
Yeah, so that kind of went down probably next most of the time. You played one as well, Finn, didn't you? You played your own 12-string.
Yeah, I bought a 12-string on Reverb, and I paid decent money for it. Like a lovely old Gibson training 12-string with like a parlour body on it, and like literally, I got it. I knew it wasn't going to be a masterpiece because it was in the hundreds rather than in the thousands. But it arrived and it had like holes drilled in it that weren't in the pictures.
Yeah.
So I reached out to the guys. I was like, "Yeah, guys, I bought this guitar and funny, but there wasn't a picture of all these holes drilled in it on the back." And you know, I bought myself a bit of a kind of runt of the litter guitar.
Yeah.
And so therefore, I'm determined to love it. I put a pickup in it. I'm determined to get to grips with it.
It's quirky. It's a really quirky guitar. It doesn't sound like every other 12-string.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a trial bike, and yours is like a Rolls Royce. It's like that. Honestly, the gap is that wide. It's literally like this is a Ford Fiesta from the '80s, and yours is like a Land Rover Discovery from last year. So you have to approach driving in a slightly different way. But we gave ourselves, you know, a palette to play with, and we're all capable of playing all these instruments. Yeah. So you know, we just
Well, 12-string's been nice, and the other thing that we settled into, or rather you settled into, is doing your vocals after a swim in the morning.
Yeah, we discovered this, didn't we? Yeah, if I get up super early, I go down to the beach, I have a freezing cold swim every morning. Then I come back to the studio and I don't eat. So doing my vocals after a cold swim without having breakfast seems to be the prime spot for my voice at the moment.
Yeah.
And so it meant that we could plan recording around that.
Yeah. And
it was pretty chilly this morning, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I joined you this morning.
Definitely getting chillier,
it's
for
definitely
sure.
Getting chillier.
These guys are insane.
It was this morning. It was like beautiful day, beautiful sun, really mellow. Oh wow, it's really nice. You put your foot in, and you're like, okay, that's significantly colder than yesterday.
Yeah.
And tomorrow will be even colder. But it just resets me. It resets my mind as well, and you know, I get to I can come back to the studio like wide awake and. Body's happy, mind is happy.
Yeah.
And then as long as I don't eat, and then
so that's quite often the frame. It would be sort of guitar, setting the framework up of the song, doing lots of extras, and then you'd come in the following morning, do vocals, and then quite often we'd move on to the next song later that day. So I suppose every song took about a day and a half.
Yeah, I suppose so.
On average,
yeah.
You know.
We should probably mention as well, Charlie turned up out of the blue. We didn't have many session musicians or anything feature on this, but when we were out on tour, we came across Charlie, who was playing with Blanco White, and she was amazing, really nice, just a lovely person to talk to backstage. And then when we watched them play, we realised that she could pretty much do everything: guitars and violins and violas and vocals and keyboards. And stayed in touch and said if you fancied maybe coming in and helping us do some stringy bits, etc.
Yeah.
And bless her, came to pass.
Yeah, exactly.
It was lovely.
Yeah, that was really nice.
It's nice to have friends involved doing bits and pieces and helping us out. Because on the last record, I did get my grandmother's violin out, didn't I? But it's a bit of a tough call.
Yeah,
that one.
yeah,
Turns out it's quite hard to play the violin. so in fact, it's really, really, really hard to play the violin.
Yeah.
So, but and that's been really nice to have her, because on the last album we had quite a guest band, didn't we?
Yeah,
and this one it's been really nice to be like, no, we want strings on this one. No, we want this country flavour on this one.
So we've had her. We've had Martin
Vols. We've had Martin Vols as well, who's a really great player.
Yeah,
a cello player.
And did some brilliant BVs get flown in from Claire
Days? Yeah, we toured with her, of course, and she's so fantastic.
Great,
and
amazing.
I've been involved with her records in various shapes and sizes, and we got a lovely chance to write. She really helped finish some of these tracks, man. I was really kind of like a few of the tracks we've just recorded were kind of 80% there, and they just needed another set of ears, another writer, but not someone like me to come in and just basically sometimes when you want to get feedback, you just want to get your own fears reinforced. So you're like, I knew that line was weak, or like I knew that word was wasn't right, or you know. And that's exactly what she did when she came into my Berlin studio for a few days.
And before that, when we were on tour, and you said that you were co-writing a tune on tour. What they were just sitting out the back of the venue in Dortmund when we'd finished Loadout, and 2 guitars, and they were just sat there while we were all just chilling. It was the period of the evening when everyone stood around just having a beer and a smoke or whatever, and you guys were figuring it out. And definitely, like, Claire's got a different, you know, she hears things differently, and she thinks of different notes and different scales to what you would. And even then it was obvious, because you were like, I reached this moment, and paying attention to what you're doing, and you're like, reach this moment, and then you're like, don't know, what about this? And it's a trick you've done many times, and you go, what about this? And it's a trick you've done many times, and you can see you're not satisfied with it. And then Claire goes, what about this? And it sounds like not a trick you would have ever done.
Yeah.
And immediately you'd see you just go, dude, that's amazing. And then that's it, change of angle. It was really, really great.
Yeah, bless. So it's been nice to open up the, you know, not be so insular, but Beauty in Your Wake, we needed a bit of time together.
Yeah,
we didn't need time together with other people around. We have plenty of that in our touring life.
Yes,
we just needed a bit of time for just us.
Yeah,
and you know, a really great producer like Sam, they know when a band needs that.
Yeah,
they're not gonna, you know, they'll be like almost like invisible until the moment where they're really not, where they've really.
Well, Sam's very good at that.
He's brilliant at that, because it's like he's always there, but not ever kind of in not, you know. Yeah, he's really great at giving us enough space so that we get the time that we need together. Yeah, and then when it's time to get cracking, we're cracking, and it's just been amazing.
The delicacy of his diplomacy as well. When there have been, I think, on this entire record, possibly 2 moments where Sam has sat there and decided, no, I'm going to say no, let's not do that. And literally, it's like you see him building up to it. You can see Sam's discomfort.
You can feel it, can't you?
Yeah, you can feel Sam's discomfort with something slightly going, and then it sort of obviously reaches a certain, you know, tipping point, and he just turns around and goes, tell you what, lads, why don't we not?
Right,
okay, excellent. Moving on. And immediately we're all like, oh, thank God someone stepped in and saved us from our own self-destructive policy.
He's got a great collection of diplomatic phrases as well. Like last time, I remember him saying, that sounds a bit agricultural.
That's true. Yes, Sam, agricultural locale.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, no, totally. And this time we were trying some kind of weird compromisey sound, and he said, I think that'll get old quite quickly.
I think.
But he said about my guitar tuning a few times. Right. Yeah, that tuning's a little bit agricultural.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely been. We know we're kind of deciphering what that means.
Yeah. So
it's been lovely. Yeah.
So we're then giving him the space now. So now, as we record this podcast, he is in the control room on his own mixing.
Yep.
And that is definitely a time when it's just Sam and his gear and his speakers.
Yeah,
I like this approach, because we've done other records. I'm sure millions of other musicians would agree that if you're sitting there and you're listening to every slow development, you're listening to the snare drum change over and over the course of hours, then you too are like you've got your face pressed up against the painting. You can't see the big picture.
No.
It's lovely for us to not be in it, and then Sam goes through all the bits he has to do until eventually he does the big reveal and comes through and says, gentlemen, would you like to come for a little listen? And then we go in with a completely fresh set of ears. It's great. Nice. We hear everything from a standing start. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing worse from a producer's point of view, trying to really, really focus in on tiny little things that make a big difference, with like 4 people having a chat behind
4
you.
opinions.
It's just impossible.
Yeah, and 4 opinions. I like it, I don't, etc.
And it's and you know, it's just let Sam do what he does now.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, apart from Sam and Andy engineering and recording everything brilliantly, which is great, mixing and producing now is and they need the space to do it, you know. And we're quite unusual in as much as we track the record and we record everything, and then we're here for the mix down. All of our other records we mix down afterwards. Like Hard Believer, Perfect Darkness. That was
particularly those ones.
I flew back out to LA for the mix of PD. I flew back out to LA to babysit the mix of some aspects of Hard Believer. Sort of all the early records I mixed from my studio. You know, Andy Lamb, who did the second one, he when he said to Ninja, who's going to mix it, Ninja were like, haven't you already done it? And he's like, no, it's another level, and da-da-da-da-da. But this way, it means we come here, we're fully immersed, we're fully involved in all the tracks, we track for 3 weeks, we mix for 1 week, and then we go home with it done, bar any major catastrophes.
Sure.
But and that's great. That's a really great feeling also for the families. To be like, I'm away for a month, but I'm going to come back and it will be done. It's not going to be hanging out for months and months and months and months and months, which is really lovely.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's good to have. I mean, I remember Resurgam. That was a bit of a kind of we were all present for the mixing situation.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that was that we got to see firsthand Flood's inability to finish things, because he gets to the point. He gets about 95% of the way through, and then he sort of shuffles out of the room and says to the engineer, "Johnny, you finish up now, yeah?" And
or he would be like, do you remember him being like, "No, the power's gone. No, it's off. No, the Pro Tools is slipping now. It's all gone. Yeah, it's gone off. It's ruined. Yeah, turn everything off."
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Because he was so sensitive. Mind you, we've had a couple of power cuts here, haven't we,
lads?
lads?
Struck by lightning. First week.
Stormy lightning
struck by stormy lightning, and then Stormy Daniels swept in.
That was great.
And then after that, the computer kept crashing for about a week.
It did. That's true.
Andy had a little word with it, and then it's better.
No, that's nice. It had a firm word with it.
If you get a power cut here, that's no joke.
I know. Imagine.
You're a long way.
God, that's been all good. What else is on our agenda, Mr. T?
Surviving on bacon, crispies, and hope.
Well, that's really it. Apart from
is it.
No, apart from one more thing, which is the kind of the vagaries section, which is now kind of things like deciding what the songs are finally going to be called.
Oh yeah, there's plenty. There's lots.
And then the title, the obvious one is the title. So, things like that.
After all that creativity and all of that, thought and precision, there are a few things which are just kind of housekeeping, aren't there? Like, what's the running order going to be? What's the title of the album? We've got 2 tracks with the same word in the title, which we've got to fix. I think we fixed that today on the way back from the beach, didn't we?
Yeah, we can tell you about that.
Yeah, I do look forward to hearing about it.
Yeah. So, because when I'm writing the songs, I'm not thinking, have I used that word before? I'm just writing what I want to write. Turns out I used that word before, so in the title. So, but that's a sign of how involved I get, because I'd written that song with that title, and only a couple of weeks later I wrote another song with almost the same title, because I'd forgotten about the one from 2 weeks earlier.
Well, that's good. That means
seen the title they wanted.
You're in the moment, man.
I'm in the moment, dude. So now it's all about the vagaries, and we can't really get into that until everything's done. So we'll probably do running order, and we're going to send it to mastering next week, so it would be great if we're going to have to do that on Friday. Thursday or Friday.
Friday. We've got running order, and also this time around we've got an aim to kind of have a bit of this is my favourite word, interstitial stuff.
He uses that all the time. This is Timmy's. Literally, this is Timmy's.
He's chiseled it into like every other sentence for a few days now.
Yeah. It's like my daughter got her first Sylvanian family set the other day.
Great moment.
Exactly. The interstitial is Tim's Sylvanian family set, because he's just got it.
When I first
he can't stop playing with it.
When I first used the word interstitial, they doubted that it existed as a word. These 2 people here.
We have no verification.
Is it a verb?
No, it's a noun.
It's an adjective.
It's an adjective. So something is interstitially...
It's an interstitial piece of music. It's an adjective.
Interstitial you in a minute, mate.
Is it an adjective?
It can be a verb it can be a verb if you just change your tone a bit.
I don't know what it is. It's either a verb, a noun, or an adjective. One of those.
It's like a mezzanine. But
he made up that word as well.
Lamentably, no. My gastronomic propensity knows no satiety.
We have no verification that interstitial is even a word. Just your word for it.
He's thinking of Interstellar. It's a great movie.
He's thinking of the movie Interstellar, yeah.
So, but anyway, we want basically stuff that happens in between the songs.
We do.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Sound effects.
Scene setters,
maybe other sort of little pieces of music that might creep in and out.
Sam has been recording all kinds of stuff the whole time we've been here. Fires and seas and all kinds of good stuff. So
the good thing about doing this podcast now is that we still haven't finished.
That's true, yeah.
It's Tuesday and we've got 3 more days.
Well, even when we put this podcast out, the record's not even going to be out for another 6 months.
No, totally.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, pretty
much. We have, all sorts of things to decide, like focus tracks. Are we going to do some, like, singles and that kind of thing?
Actually, on the focus track, You know, there's that lyric about steering wheels.
Yeah.
So I've already, a guy's offered to lend me a car already.
Oh yeah.
He's a friend of mine on Instagram. He's got this warehouse of cars, Ferraris, Porsches, Lamborghinis, and an old MG that's like British Racing Green.
Yeah.
So, zipping around the lanes.
Who's going to lend you this?
One of my Instagram friends.
Oh really? Amazing.
Incredible. For a minute there, when you said a guy, I thought you said guy as in me.
Oh, you can lend me your Hyundai Jazz.
Whatever you like, mate. You can borrow whichever one you want. The Chiron, the Veyron. You can borrow the Vauxhall Corsa 1.2.
The Kia Sportage.
Whatever you want. Brilliant. And on that...
So basically that's what we've got to do. We've got 3 days left. Wish us luck.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's kind of weird because we're going to probably talk about this album again towards the release of the album. We'll talk about the actual songs and what actually made it on there, artwork and all of that. But for now, this is Fink reporting from 3 days before finish of album.
Good times.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Enjoy.
And end of season of podcast.
End of season
there
of
we
podcast,
go. End of the year, end of the season. What a wonderful season it's been. We've covered we've had bells in the background as we were talking when we were in Austria.
We were talking about India there.
We've
talking
had
about
India. We've had America.
The orchestral gigs, the American, and we talked about books.
We've had our magnificent first 2-part podcast situation.
Yeah. And we've talked about
live music albums. We've covered some really nice stuff in the season.
So it's been a very nice interstitial season.
And and again, I apologise for my absences from a lot of this. Everybody, it's a combination of completely legitimate reasons, ranging from life sucks to I suck.
Nice.
Both valid.
Both valid. All right. Well, thanks for listening. See you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.